I'm Dr. Christy, and this is Climbing Fish Parenting, practical parenting strategies in 20 minutes or less. I'm a psychologist and behavior analyst, and I work with exhausted, overwhelmed parents who feel like they've tried everything and nothing works. If you're listening to this while folding the laundry, hiding in your car, or wishing bedtime would just end already, you're in the right place. This is a bonus episode for those of you who are dreading Halloween instead of looking forward to it. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why Halloween can be so hard for kids who are wired differently and have concrete strategies to make it work for your family. Ready to transform your parenting journey? Let's dive in. I want to start with a story. When my daughter was younger, she absolutely loved the idea of Halloween. The costume planning, the excitement, the anticipation. We'd do dry runs. She'd wear her costume around the house for days leading up to it. But every single year, like clockwork, the same thing happened. She'd get all dressed up, we'd head out the door full of excitement, and within about a minute, the pulling started, the wriggling, then the complete meltdown. All that adrenaline combined with her sensory wiring created total overwhelm. And here's what I need you to hear. If you're dreading Halloween instead of looking forward to it, you are not alone. Halloween is supposed to be fun, but for kids who are wired differently, kids with ADHD, autism, sensory processing challenges, anxiety, it can be a perfect storm of everything that's hard for them. So let's break down exactly why Halloween is so challenging for these kids, and then I'm going to give you permission to do it completely differently. Challenge number 1, sensory overload. For kids with sensory processing differences, Halloween is basically sensory assault packaged as fun. Think about what we're asking them to tolerate. Costumes with scratchy fabric, tight elastic, masks that touch their face, wigs that feel weird on their head, face paint that's sticky or smells strange. We're asking them to wear clothes that feel wrong on their body for hours. Then add the environment, flashing lights, scary decorations, strangers in frightening masks, doorbells ringing constantly, crowds of kids, unfamiliar houses with unfamiliar smells. It's completely overwhelming. Here's what's happening in their nervous system. Their brain is getting flooded with sensory input it can't filter or organize. What looks like excitement or fun to neurotypical kids registers as threat to their system. Their body goes into fight or flight mode. So when your child has a meltdown 15 minutes into trick-or-treating, it's not because they're ungrateful or trying to ruin the night. Their nervous system is literally screaming, "Danger!" and they cannot regulate through it. Challenge 2. Social demands. Halloween comes with a script, doesn't it? Ring the doorbell, wait patiently, say, "Trick or treat." Make eye contact with the adult, say thank you, move on to the next house. Repeat 40 times. For kids who struggle with social skills, especially autistic kids or kids with social anxiety, this is exhausting. Every single house requires them to perform a social interaction with a stranger. They have to read social cues, follow unspoken rules, manage their body language, and say the right thing at the right time. And they're doing this while already dysregulated from the costume and the sensory input and the crowds and the excitement. Even if your child can do these social interactions when they're calm and regulated, that doesn't mean they can do them when their system is already maxed out. Executive functioning falls apart under stress. So does social skills performance. If your child refuses to say trick or treat, or won't look at people, or has a meltdown because someone complimented their costume, it's not rudeness. It's nervous system overwhelm. The same is true for kids with ADHD. Oftentimes, they'll forget to say thank you, and then they might feel bad about that interaction as they're running on to the next house impulsively. Challenge number 3, too much unpredictability. Kids who are wired differently often need predictability and routine to feel safe. Halloween destroys both. Think about it. You're going to strangers' homes in the dark. You don't know who will answer the door or what they'll look like. You don't know if there will be scary decorations or a barking dog. You don't know how much candy you'll get or what kind it will be. You're walking through unfamiliar neighborhoods. The whole night is one big unknown. For kids with anxiety or autism, this level of unpredictability creates massive stress. Their brain can't prepare. They can't anticipate what's coming. Every doorbell ring is a new surprise their system has to process. And if you have a child who's rigid or needs control, who melts down when things don't go exactly as expected, Halloween is basically designed to trigger them. Plans change. Routes change. Sometimes houses run out of candy or turn their lights off. It's chaos. Challenge number 4. Developmental age versus chronological age. Here's something really important that doesn't get talked about enough. Neurodivergent kids are often functioning emotionally at a younger age than their chronological age suggests. Your 10-year-old might be developmentally closer to 7 or 8 emotionally. That means they might not be ready for the scary decorations and horror movie references that their same-age peers think are cool. Or it might be the opposite. They still want to trick or treat well into their teens when their peers have moved on because emotionally, they're still in that developmental window where trick or treating feels right. Both of those things are completely okay, but they can create awkward situations where your child doesn't fit the expectations for their age. If your older child still wants to trick or treat, let them. People are more supportive than you'd expect. We have a neighbor who specifically rewards teenagers who trick or treat with full-sized candy bars because, in her words, she'd rather have them be kids and stay out of trouble than feel like they've aged out of something they still enjoy. And if your child is terrified of things their peers think are fun, that's okay too. Honor where they actually are developmentally, not where society says they should be. Challenge number 5, the adrenaline crash. Even if your child manages to hold it together during trick-or-treating, you might notice they completely fall apart afterward. That's the adrenaline crash. Halloween is incredibly stimulating. All that excitement, all that sugar, all that sensory input. It floods their system with adrenaline and cortisol. They're running on high alert for hours. But what goes up must come down. When the adrenaline wears off, they crash hard. That's when you see the meltdowns, the emotional dysregulation, the tears over nothing. Their nervous system is completely depleted and they have nothing left. For kids with ADHD, this crash can be especially intense. Their systems are already less efficient at regulating dopamine and norepinephrine, so the post-excitement crash hits them harder and lasts longer. All right, now that we understand why Halloween is so hard, let's talk about what you can actually do about it. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear. You get to make Halloween whatever works for your kid and your family. There is no rule that says you have to trick or treat for 2 hours in a traditional costume, hitting every house in the neighborhood. That's one way to do Halloween. It's not the only one. Here are some adaptations that might work better. Option 1, modify the costume. Skip the traditional costume entirely if the sensory input is too much. Let your child wear their regular clothes with one small Halloween element, a cape, cat ears, a witch hat they can take off whenever they want, or let them wear pajamas with something Halloween themed over it. Comfort first. Costume second. You can also do a dry run days before Halloween. Let them wear the costume around the house, see what parts bother them, and make adjustments. Cut out tags, choose softer fabrics, skip the mask. Better yet, take them to a trunk or treat or other Halloween event in the days leading up to the actual holiday where costumes are encouraged. This gives them a chance to practice in a lower stakes environment. And if it goes badly, you haven't ruined Halloween itself. Plus, trunk or treats are often during daylight hours in parking lots, which can be way less overwhelming than nighttime neighborhood trick-or-treating. Option 2, change the timing. Who says you have to go out when it's dark and crowded? Go during daylight hours when fewer kids are out and it's less overwhelming. Some neighborhoods even have designated sensory-friendly trick-or-treat times. Or go super late when most kids are done and the chaos has died down. Option 3, limit the duration and build in a tradition. You don't have to trick or treat for 2 hours. Go to 3 houses. Go to 1 house. Your neighbor who knows your child and will be patient and kind. Get candy, come home, call it done. In my family, my daughter always wanted to keep going, but once I had a baby to manage, we needed a hard stop. So we started a tradition. We trick or treat for a set amount of time, then we come home and watch a movie together. These days, it's always a Harry Potter movie because we're super fans. But in the early days, we'd watch Curious George's Halloween special. It gave us something to look forward to that didn't involve more sensory overload. Just cozy time together as a family. And here's the thing. If the idea of Halloween scares your kid, the movie doesn't have to be Halloween-themed at all. Pick their favorite comfort movie. Make it about connection, not the holiday itself. Option 4, skip trick-or-treating entirely. This is a real option. Stay home and hand out candy instead. Your child gets to be part of Halloween. They get to see costumes. They get to participate, but from the safety and predictability of their own home. Or create your own Halloween tradition at home. Have a movie night with popcorn and candy you bought at the store. Do a craft night with Halloween-themed projects. Work on a puzzle together. Build with Legos. Whatever your kid is into, make that your Halloween tradition. There's no rule that says Halloween has to look a certain way. You get to define what works for your family. Option 5, let them opt out. If you have multiple kids and some want to trick-or-treat while others don't, that's okay. Let your child who's struggling stay in the car with a trusted adult while siblings go door to door. Let them stay home with one parent while the other takes siblings out. There's no rule that says everyone has to participate the same way. Here's what I need you to remember. The goal of Halloween is not Instagram perfect memories or doing it the normal way. The goal is keeping your child regulated and your family intact. If that means skipping it entirely, you're not failing. If that means going to one house in pajamas, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing exactly the right thing for your fish. Because here's the truth. Forcing your child to endure something that dysregulates their nervous system doesn't teach them resilience. It teaches them that their needs don't matter and that they should push through distress to make other people happy. But when you adapt Halloween to fit their wiring, when you honor what their body is telling them and create a version that actually works, you're teaching them that their needs are valid, that it's okay to do things differently, and that you'll always have their back. That's the lesson that matters. All right, that's it for today. Remember, there's no right way to do Halloween. The right way is whatever keeps your kid regulated and helps your family actually enjoy the night. If this was helpful, hit subscribe so next week's episode shows up automatically. And head to my website at www.climbingfishparenting.com for more strategies and support. That strategy I just gave you, it's the whole climbing fish philosophy in action. There's a quote, everybody's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. Your kid isn't broken. Your parenting isn't broken. Sometimes we're just asking our fish to climb trees. That's what we fix here. I'm Dr. Christy, and I'll see you next week.